This is Mrs. Zappia with Lesson 9, an application of linear equations. Student outcomes for this lesson. Students practice writing and solving multi-step equations. The purpose of this lesson is to expose students to applications of linear equations. The essential question is, how can I apply what I know about linear equations to problem solving? We're going to go to exercise 3 on page 68. For exercise 3, Marvin paid an entrance fee of $5 plus an additional $1.25 per game at a local arcade. Altogether, he spent $26.25. Write and solve an equation to determine how many games Marvin played. If you feel confident in writing and solving this equation, pause the video and then resume it after you have completed the problem. The entrance fee of $5 is a constant. In addition to the $5, we'll be paying $1.25 per game. How do you write $1.25 per game when you don't know how many games he played? Well, we use a variable x for the number of games. And then the total cost of the games would be $1.25 times x. So we have $1.25 times x plus 5, and he spent a total, or altogether, $26.25. So that's going to add up to $26.25. To solve the equation, first we'll subtract the entrance fee, and that will leave us with the amount of money he had left to play games. Simplify. That leaves us with $21.25 to spend on games. Then, to determine how many games he played, we divide by the coefficient, $1.25. The number of games that he played is 17. 17 games. We'll continue with number 5. Number 5. A book has X pages. How many pages are in the book? If Maria read 45 pages of a book on Monday, half the book on Tuesday, and the remaining 72 pages on Wednesday. It says that the book has a total of X pages, and the numbers that she read on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday add up to the total. So the total number of pages equals Monday plus Tuesday plus Wednesday. She read 45 pages of the book on Monday. She read half the book on Tuesday. The book has X pages, so half of that would be 1/2 X, 4X divided by 2. And then the remaining 72 pages on Wednesday. That's our equation to determine the number of pages in the book. We'll want to simplify before we solve. Combine your like terms, 45 and 72. That gives us 117 pages, plus 1/2 X equals X. Now we want to get our terms with variables on one side of the equation. In order to get rid of the 1/2 X and move it to the other side of the equation, we want this term to equal 0. To get a term to equal to 0, remember to add or subtract. In this case, we will need to subtract. We'll subtract 1/2 X from both sides of the equation. X take away 1/2 X, so that is 1X take away 1/2 X. That simplifies to 1/2 X. That leaves us with 117 pages. Next, multiply by the reciprocal of the coefficient to solve the equation. Show multiplication with parentheses. The reciprocal of 1/2 is 2 over 1. A number times its reciprocal equals 1, and 1 times x is x. Multiplying the other side of the equation by the reciprocal, and that gives us 2 times 117, which is 234. There are 234 pages in the book. We'll continue with number 7. Number 7, the sum. Sum means to add. The sum of 13 and twice a number. And separates the two things you are adding. So we're going to be adding 13 and twice a number. Adding 13 to twice a number is 7 less than. So we're going to take 7 away from something. 7 less than what? 6 times a number. To write 6 times a number, that will be 6x. And we want 7 less than that. So there's our linear equation to find the value of the number. Both sides of the equation are simplified, so we're ready to solve. For my first step, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides of the equation. Remember that there are several things you could do first, and this is what I've chosen to do. I simplify on the left, that leaves me with 13. On the right, 6x minus 2x is 4x. Bring down the minus 7. Now I want my constants on the left, so I need to undo the minus 7 by adding 7. Remember to do the same operation with the same number on both sides of the equation to keep it equal. 13 plus 7 is 20. Simplifying on the right side, that leaves me with 4x. Divide by the coefficient to complete the problem, and the answer is 5. So the number is 5. You can check to make sure that number is correct by multiplying 2 times 5 plus 13. That gives us a total of 23 on the left side of the equation. On the right side of the equation, that would be 6 times 5, take away 7. 6 times 5 is 30. 30 minus 7 is 23. Because the left equals the right, you have proven that your solution of 5 is correct. Next, we'll go to the summary. In this lesson, you have learned you can apply what you know about writing and solving linear equations to solve a variety of problems.